Good, you're back. I'm Neom, and today's episode is about the luckiest, most fascinating, and simultaneously dumbest and smartest con man I've ever heard of, Gregor MacGregor. Let's get into it. You're already starting off bad when your name sounds like a badly chosen pseudonym for a con man. I mean, come on. Gregor MacGregor? His name sounds fake, he looks fake, his Instagram posts are fake. Seriously, who likes their own Instagram posts? Unbelievable. So anyway, it's 1786. Son of Daniel MacGregor and grandson of Gregor the Beautiful, both decorated soldiers, Gregor MacGregor decided to follow in the family tradition. At the age of just 16, he enlisted in the British Army, seeking glory and a rise in status, and soon found love and marriage as well in the daughter of a British Navy admiral. Using his family's prestige as well as his marital ties to the higher up, he bribed his way up to a captain's rank. From there, he led an apparently pretty incompetent career for the next 8 years, until he left after a heated argument with a senior officer. Soon after his retirement, his wife passed away. Her family, seeing MacGregor for the fraudulent suck-up he was, cut ties with him, leaving him financially destitute. Looking for adventure and whatever came his way, he sold his wares and sailed to Venezuela, where he fought on their behalf in the revolution against Spain. Introducing himself as Sir Gregor and convincing General Francisco de Miranda that his stint in the British Army wasn't a fraud or a failure, he rose in the ranks once again, despite having a few misadventures and deserting his troops during 2 important battles. Along with his rise to power in the military, he also befriended the king of the aptly named Mosquito Coast, now known as Honduras and Nicaragua, who was like, "You know what, Greg? You're cool. Here's 8 million acres of land. I'm literally just giving it to you, and you can do whatever you want with it." Oh, and he also got a new portrait done. 21 years later, and he still looks like a porcelain doll. At the height of his career, he again married into a wealthy family, this time to Doña Josefa Antonia Andrea Aristaguita y Lovera, and returned to England with renewed credibility. By declaring his recently acquired 8 million acre swamp to be a nation of paradise called Poyais, and giving himself the role of prince of that nation, he and his wife managed to take the steps up the social stairway 2 at a time. Prince Gregor began selling plots of land in the ostensibly beautiful, resource-rich future paradise of Poyais, becoming a real Conor McGregor. He managed to gain trust and investor funding using charisma, his apparent princehood, and Poyain propaganda, which included a book he published under an assumed name. Presumably, he wanted to sound a little less suspicious than Gregor MacGregor, so he chose the appropriate pseudonym of Thomas Strangeways? Despite Thomas and his strange ways, investors lined up left and right hoping to get a slice of this colonial pie, trusting that MacGregor would make good on his promise of a 6% return on investment. Maybe if the investors had realized what else was going on around that time in that area, they would have thought twice. Having acquired around 200 pounds, MacGregor rounded up roughly 170 people willing to colonize the new land, and sent them out in 2 separate ships. Upon arrival, the unfortunate settlers saw Poyais for what it really was, a swampy, mosquito-ridden, malaria-given, not-good-for-living, swindler-driven dump, whose only inhabitants were a few native tribes. Thankfully, about 100 settlers were evacuated out before they all died of disease, and word was sent back to England to let everyone know that the whole thing was a sham. But not before MacGregor could make his way to France to profit another 300,000 off the same con. Once he found out that the jig was up, he managed to escape, heading back to Venezuela where he remained until he died in 1848. I can only hope that engraved on his tombstone were his initials, GG. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. Subscribe for more content, ring the bell to be notified about new videos, and of course, comment what you want to learn about next. I'm Neom, and I'll see you next time.